Hey nerds, Will here. Welcome back to another episode of Primal Nerds. We'll be continuing our Lost Origins trilogy. This is episode 2. Episode 1 was Sean opening up his ETB. And the third video will be a sealed match. Sean and I will assemble a deck filled with cards that we pulled from our own ETBs and battle in a sealed match. Like I said, this is the Lost Origin expansion. I'm also hoping to pull some cards that show off a new feature in Lost Origin called the Lost Zone. And hopefully I can explain a little bit further there. Alright, let's see what we get. First, we'll give Brittany an offering in hopes that we have good pulls. There you go, Brittany. Alright, so I'm not going to go too much into the contents of the ETB. If you watched the last episode with Sean, you'll see pretty much what is in an ETB. So we're gonna kind of just dive right on in. Here's our packs, or our sleeves. Some energies. Here is a QR code. And now, the packs. So there are a lot of nasty opportunities in Lost Origin, and I'm really hoping Sean read his cards. But let's get on into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Oh, fighting type. If you like fighting, like the channel. Mineshout, Lady, Inkay, Bitbug, Finion, Spinnerack, Paris, a Toolbox, and a Clefable. Spirit Charm. All of your Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks when your opponent's Dragon Pokemon. You can't apply more than one Spirit Charm ability at a time. I see. So if you had another Clefable off to the side, it only work for the one. Not a bad start. I did edit Sean's video. His was first. Fire. And I have some idea of what he might be getting into. He did pull some good fighting types, some water types, and his normal types. He had the Hisuian Zoroark and the Greedent. Those are really good cards, and they're normal type. So we'll see what he gets into. So there's opportunities in this expansion to discard cards into a additional pile called the Lost Zone. And what this does essentially is those cards become energy for different actions. See, here you go. Here's a Porygon 2. This attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon tool card in the Lost Zone. So if you have any tools in your Lost Zone, Porygon gets 20 damage. See, so there's it's really important, this expansion, to read the card. I know the Lake Acuity is something Sean was looking at. We'll see what he's getting into. Shellos and a Politoed. If Politoed is on your bench, this attack does 60 more damage. If Poliwhirl is on your bench, this attack does 90 more damage. If Poliwrath is on your bench, this attack does 120 more damage. Wow. I know Sean drew I knew he drew a Poliwrath in his opening. So that could have been a useful card for him. Let's keep going. Next up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a V-Star. Lost City. Whenever a Pokemon is knocked out, put that Pokemon in the Lost Zone. See, here's what I was just talking about. You have different opportunities of cards where you put cards into your lost zone. Now that's going to be a little tricky for us. We do kind of draft play where we have 40 cards in a deck and a lot of beast moves. In Lost Origin, take like 10 cards in your lost zone. But it's still really cool feature they're bringing, and if you're playing in the tournaments, you need to be aware of what the new way of playing can be. So there's a Mile, Slugma, Clefairy. I'm getting a lot of Psychic types. I'm looking at Psychic right now. A Porygon. There's a Clefable again. As I said before, you can only use, let me get that. You can only use one Spirit Charm at a time. And a Mr. Mime, speaking of Psychic. You and your opponent play rock, paper, scissors until somebody wins. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever played rock, paper, scissors during a Pokemon match during the game. They're getting more creative with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next thing you know, you're going to have to put stickers on your card. If you know what I'm talking about. Psychic! Hariyama. An Art Phone. A Medicham. A Mindfu. Leo. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. It's not bad at all. A Ghastly. Put 1 damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. A Ducklet. A Zorua. Hisuian. Free action, draw a card. Lost Vacuum. So here you go. You can use this card only if you put another card from your hand in the Lost Zone. Choose a Pokemon tool, attach it to a Pokemon or any stadium in play, and put it in the Lost Zone. Yeah, and we were just talking about that. Oh, and there's a Pyroar. Sweet. Yeah, we were just talking about, remember we were just talking about Porygon 2, where if you have Pokemon tools in your Lost Zone, he gets beefed up. So there you go. There's one of those nasty combos you need to look out for. And you don't lose cards in your Lost Zone. Any card that has some kind of reaction relating to the Lost Zone, you get to use all the cards from your Lost Zone. So it's not like you have to put a card into your Lost Zone and then you can't use it anymore. It has its extended benefits. Brazong, a colorless experiment. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put 3 of them in your hand. Put the other cards in your Lost Zone. Boom. Komala. A Poliwag. There we go. He's good for Politoed. Gligar. A Goomy. A Mawile. A Slugma. A Ghastly. And another Politoed. Ooh, I'm looking at Water Psychic. I played Water Psychic last time, and I think they just go really good together. What we got next? If I can pull off some Lost Zone there's a Haunter, there's a Poliwhirl, there's a Horsey, there's a Meditite, there's a Shellos, there's a Mindfu, Litleo, there's a Reverse Hollow Seadra, and a Stonjourner. Let's see what we got. Look, his Lost Shot. Put the top card of your opponent's deck in the Lost Zone. So not only does this attack does 120 damage, but you can use this card to beef up your Lost Zone. Ooh, I'm coming for you. But there's 2 packs left of this ETB. I'm going to try to put together a Lost Zone deck just to see how it plays out. Boom. Fighting. Seviper. A Galarian Stunfisk. There's a Jinx. A Litwick. An Oddish. A Love Disc. a Phalanx, a Reverse Hollow Murkrow, and Raichu. Nice. If you have used your V-Star power, this deck does 120 damage more. This expansion is opening up a lot of nasty opportunities. Let's go. Let's go Last Pack Magic. Smash the like for Last Pack Magic. Follow us. Fire type for the last pack. There's a Riley. There's a Nuzleaf. There's a Wind-Up Arm. This Pokemon, the Pokemon this card is attached to can attack even if asleep or paralyzed. And it's a Pokemon tool card. You know what we can do with those. Murkrow, a Shuppet, a Wurmple, a Tynamo, a Seedot, and a full art Kabu. That's nice. Shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 4 cards. If your active Pokemon is your only Pokemon in play, draw 8 cards. Good opportunity. And an Orbeetle. And this is a good opportunity card. When you evolve into Orbeetle, you can put 3 energy cards from your discard to your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. Ooh. There's got to be something you can do with that. And there is. This attached does 50 more damage for each energy attached to your Pokemon's active, to your opponent's active Pokemon. So the more you beef him up, the more damage this guy does. Awesome. All right, guys, that's it for me. This was episode 2 of the Lost Origin ETB openings. Episode 1 was Sean opening his. Episode 2 was me opening up mine. And episode 3 will be the sealed match between us two. And Sean, if you're watching, and I know you are, the card I'm looking at right now is the Lost City card. It's a stadium card. Whenever a Pokemon, either you or your opponent, is knocked out, put that Pokemon in the Lost Zone instead of the discard pile. So I'm going to try to build a deck around this guy, and we'll see what happens. If you like what you see, you want to see more, hit the like button, tickle the bell to get those notifications, subscribe to stay up to date with Primal Nerds. Check us out on our socials and our website. And as always, later nerds.